I have a quick question for you. Would you hire a boss that makes your employees work 7 days a week, no breaks, no rest, no nothing? Someone who criticizes them constantly, who tells them they're not doing enough? No? Then why are you doing that to yourself? This is part of what I see with some of the entrepreneurs that I work with, that there's such high standards for themselves and for what they need to be doing, what they need to get accomplished throughout the day, the week, and they forget to take care of themselves in the process, or they prioritize not to, which is insane. So like skipping lunch or not getting enough sleep, these kind of things, even taking a day off once in a while. And the thing is, you would never do this to an employee. You would never do this to another human being, basically. And to be honest, if you did, they would quit, right? If you think back to the jobs you've had and think about if your boss treated you like you're treating yourself, how long would you stay in that job? And if you or they didn't quit, they would definitely burn out. But the thing is, because it's you think it's fine. It's like, it's no problem. I can do this. You think this is hustle. This is what I have to do for my business to work. But really, it's bad management. It's bad management of your time, of your health, of your business, all across the board. So let's do the employee test. Every time that you're about to push yourself harder, criticize yourself, or skip something you actually need, like a meal or rest, ask yourself, would you expect an employee to do this? A few examples for you. It's weekend and it's Saturday. You're thinking, hey, I can use this time to catch up. Stop. If someone worked for you and they've been working their butts off and been just crushing it, would you ask them to do that? Would you ask them to not take the break that they need? No. You would let them take that break. You would tell them that they should slow down, to take care of themselves. Be careful that they don't burn out. And rest makes you more productive, not less. So why aren't you telling yourself that? And if you're not, then I'm telling you right now. What about harsh self-talk? I have to admit, I struggle with this one as well once in a while, but I'm getting better. So let's say you missed a deadline. Your brain will go, my God, you're so lazy. Why didn't you reach that deadline? You're not good enough. Everyone else could do this. What is wrong with you? Like, stop. You would not talk that way to an employee. And if you do, then there is something wrong with you. So the point, you shouldn't do that. What you would do with an employee is hopefully ask, what happened? What went wrong in this process? Did something go wrong, or did we just set a bad deadline? What can we do to solve the problem? What's the thing we need to do right now to reach this goal that we're aiming for? You would figure out what support they need and then provide it as best you can, right? So why are you being a toxic boss to yourself? If your employees were running on fumes and didn't get any rest, would you ask them to keep going? No, right? You would ask them to slow down, to get some rest, and make sure that they're doing okay. And you'd most likely be worried. And you'd also know that they are on their way to burnout, which is not a good thing. So start treating yourself like you're someone you care about. Stop treating yourself like it doesn't matter, because it does. You do matter, and you don't want to end up in burnout. So let's look at how we can change this a little bit. The first thing is, you're not just an entrepreneur and the business owner. You're also the employee. So start thinking about yourself as the employee, the person who actually needs a good boss. Be someone who sets reasonable expectations to yourself and your employee, which is you. Give them breaks, give them time to rest, and talk to them with respect. They deserve it. Ask yourself, if someone was working for you the way you're working, exhausted, overwhelmed, tired, and self-critical, would you think, that's amazing, what a great business model? No. You'd probably think, oh, this person is about to crash. But you are that person. You are the person who is about to crash. So be a better boss to yourself. So I'm going to give you some action steps or a little bit of a challenge. This week, try catching yourself in these things. Catch yourself in being the bad boss. So every time you work through exhaustion, skip something you need, criticize yourself harshly, stop and ask, would I expect an employee to do this? And if the answer is no, you don't get to do it either. Because the thing is, you can't build a business being a horrible manager, even if you're only managing yourself. If you don't work, the business doesn't work. And right now, you seem like you might be managing yourself pretty terribly. So start treating yourself like you're your most valued employee. Because like I said, you are. You are the most valued employee. So my question for you right now is, what is one thing that you are doing that you would never expect an employee to do? And I'm not saying there's something that's the boss's responsibility. Of course there is, but it's more from like a broader perspective, a human perspective, maybe. Drop it in the comments. I would love to hear. It's always interesting. And the good thing is that sometimes naming it and writing it down can actually be the first step to help you solve the issue. If you want more videos like this, let me know. If you want help doing this and not struggling with it totally on your own, then reach out. My information is in the description. And with that, joy and excitement, have an amazing rest of your day.